All right, Linda, listen. So, y'all, I don't even know how to even start this. I don't even know how to start this conversation. I really don't. But we just gonna talk, okay? I'ma just tell it. I'ma just tell my side of the story, and we just gonna go from there. So first of all, I know y'all probably like, Lady K, you looking rough. Not rough, but rough. Yeah, I got my hat on. Y'all look at this. My hair is I'm gonna tell the story. I'm gonna tell my side of the story. Look at this. It's terrible. All right. So let me tell my side of the story, okay? So, first of all, this week has just been hectic. I don't know how it's been for y'all, but for me this week has been hectic, okay? Um so let's start from Monday. So Monday was the first day of our 10th grader high school. No, well, Monday was not the first day. So Monday he had orientation, you guys, okay, at the high school. Let me tell y'all something. If I was gonna tell y'all about the location and everything, y'all gonna see me doing stuff because I'm on my laptop too. I got to take care of this stuff right here. If I wasn't, I'm gonna just say this. The school is huge. It's like a college campus. For what? Okay, that's first of all, for what? But second of all, you guys, it was like so many stairways. So we get there, orientation started at 4 o'clock. It was from 4 to 7. We get there at 3. I'm like, okay, let's get there early because, you know, most of the time orientation is extremely packed. And for those of you who don't know what school orientation is, it's pretty much where you go, you get your class schedule, you get a chance to meet your teachers, you get a chance to see around your school, so on and so forth. And so we got there early. We get into the cafeteria and they like, well, you guys are early, so, and you in the wrong place, so we're gonna walk you over to the gym where you need to be. So we goes from the gym to the cafeteria. We had to go from one side of the school all the way to the other side. I was tired at this point, y'all. I don't know what y'all, I'm chunky, okay? And then we get there and she's like, well, the doors is locked, so y'all got to stand here and wait 45 minutes. So we had to stand outside and wait 45 minutes. Y'all, my scalp was soaking wet. So this is the result of soaking wet scalp. Y'all, I got some wigs. I grabbed a wig out the next day, and I said, I'm calling it a day. Grabbed the wig out, and then bloop. And no, so that's what I've been wearing the last 2 days, 3 days, whatever. So then we get that done, up and down the stairs, 4 floors, up and down, up and down, up and down. For what? Who even designed the school? I don't know. But needless to say, the school is what it is. All right, so most of his teachers wasn't there. We met 2 teachers, boom. All right, so then the next day I had to go to Deani's school, which was the same exact situation. It was 4 to 7. We got there at 3. But with Deani's situation, it was a little different. Deani, they did not have her enrolled at all. They are so backed up and that they didn't even have a chance to get her enrolled. So needless to say, we didn't meet none of Deani's teachers, and literally we just went in and left. The next day we had to go out to the store because I had to purchase lunch for them. So we went out to the grocery store and we had to get our second dose of the COVID shot. You guys, I'm also going to tell y'all about the COVID shot. That might be a whole nother video, I guess. But we went to get our second dose of the COVID shot. And, okay. And, when we went to go get our second dose, I also did grocery shopping at the same time. So Monday, orientation Tuesday, orientation Wednesday, grocery shopping and COVID shot. And then after I got the COVID shot on that Wednesday, all of us, we were super duper tired, y'all. I mean, I was swamped at this point because exhausted just wasn't the word. Okay. So, we came home and then they started school on a Thursday. I've never, ever seen anybody start school on a Thursday, but whatever. They started school on a Thursday. So yesterday was Jordan and Deani's first day of school. They kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, y'all, because they ain't want to take no pictures. They upset they had to wear uniforms this year. And I think I was kind of having a little moment because they were home all last year and half of the school year before that. So like a year and a half they had been home. So I was kind of having a little bit of moment, like, come on, y'all, let me take a picture. No, they wasn't having it. So whatever. But this week has been a lot. Going to take Jordan to school on Thursday morning. Jordan gets out we're in this long line. Jordan gets out and he forgets his schedule. So I had to turn around and get back in the line to go back to take him his schedule, walk into the office for them to tell me, oh, don't worry about it because we're actually going to have all of them to go to the media center and then we're going to give them all brand new schedules. Why didn't I know that? Okay, so that's that. So then we leave from there and then I go to take Deani to school, and I said, well, let me walk in just in case. You guys know they still did not have her enrolled because they're like so backed up with so many kids that just got enrolled in the school. So Deani, they was like, oh no, actually they told me, they said, oh, she's enrolled. It's no problem. It's no issue. You can go ahead and leave her. So I stood there until they opened up the gates for her to go in. So once they opened up the gates, I was like, all right, Deani, go ahead, have a great day, so on and so forth. Okay, so I go about my business. So when I went to go pick them up, I picked Jordan up, and the way that his school is set up, Jordan's school is in the back of the neighborhood. Deani's school is in the front of the neighborhood. So I dropped Jordan off at the front of his school, but then I had to pick him up at the back of the school because they're no longer allowing parents to pick up in the front. So I picked him up at the back of the school, and the line was extremely long, you guys. Because of how close the kids are, I have to drop them off and pick them up. Because of the hours and because of like how many kids are riders, it is like extremely crazy. Jordan's school hours is another thing. Never mind. The school hours is just crazy. And then they get out early every single Wednesday, which I don't even get, but whatever. Today was the first day I had to drop Deani off in the back of the school as well. So her school has now the same rule. We left out, she has to be to school at 8:20. We left out she has to be to school by 8:50. We left out at 8:20 and still ended up at the back of the line. I don't like it. Why? Because it's too much. Okay, so needless to say, this explains why, because I was going to give y'all another makeup look this week. Ain't nobody doing no makeup. I'm glad today is Friday. And to add to all of this mess, my ladyhood so happens to say, oh, everybody going to school, I want to pop up. So on top of that, I thank God, because usually my menstruals are extremely bad. I mean, when I say extremely bad, if you have really bad menstruals, comment it below. But I have very bad menstruals. And so I am extremely exhausted. I kind of feel like I just need a nap. But the great thing is, like I said, to God be the glory, I'm not in pain. Usually I'm in extreme pain. I'm not in a lot of pain at all. I think I took pain reliever maybe one time, and that was yesterday, because I had some running around to do after I took the kids to school. And I just remember coming home, talking to my husband. He calls, and I'm like, I'm about to go straight home. And that was when it was coming on. I was like, I'm about to just make my way home and just finish up everything else because I'm just tired and my stomach hurts. So I came home and I took something, and that was that. What else did I want to say, you guys? First of all, I got on this, one day I preached, and the title of my message was, Take Your Shot. So the theme was game day. So I have on my big game Sunday, and it is Friday, and I got on the Sunday shirt. I'm mothering it. This is a mother type situation here. So with that being said, I just wanted y'all to know I was tired. So no makeup look. And I got to fix my hair. This joker look mad at. I'm just so glad today is Friday. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I'm just glad today is Friday. So this was not going to be a long drawn out. Oh yes, I did want to say something else. So was it last week? I think last week. So I was having moments, you guys. I was having these moments, and I was like, oh, I want to get back into teaching makeup. You guys, when I did my last video, if you did not see it, it is probably linked somewhere above. But if you did not see it, I was like super excited when I did the makeup look, you guys. Super duper excited when I did the makeup look. I was like, oh, this was fun. And I enjoyed talking to you guys. So comment below if you think the talk through makeup was better than the voiceover. If I explained it, if you enjoyed the little style that I did, like a makeup class, almost like Facebook Live style. But needless to say, I enjoyed it so much. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to go ahead and start getting back into teaching this makeup, so on and so forth. Well, our neighborhood has if you are not familiar, your neighborhood probably has it, or your area probably has it, but it's called Neighborhood, and it's an app. And literally it's a app for your neighborhood. So I was like, well, I can start teaching and talking about makeup to some groups, and so on and so forth. And I was telling my husband, I was like, he was like, I don't think it's a good idea. He was like, no, it's not a good idea. Like, you already said that you was done with social media, and this is kind of going to put you in that same platform, so on and so forth. And my enthusiasm was just like so excited about it. And then when he said that, and the way that he said it, it almost was like he was like, no. And so I just shut it down, you guys. I was like, okay, fine. My husband don't think that it's a good idea to teach the makeup, so on and so forth right now. So I'm going to just shut it down. So I'm getting somewhere with this. So I ended up shutting it down. It was only up for one day, and it was literally like, okay, this is going to be my platform for me to encourage and teach makeup. So I set up the platform, and then when my husband said he didn't think it was a good idea, I shut it down. And so yesterday, I think we had a long morning conversation. Every morning, me and my husband talk his whole way to work. He leaves out at 5:45, 5:30, sometimes 5:30, 5:25, something like that. And we'll talk all the way until he get to work at 7:30. So yeah, okay, died. And so we were talking, and he was saying to me, he was like, this is, no, first I told him, I said, it kind of hurt my feelings just a little bit when you said, no, don't do the makeup thing. And I was explaining to him, I said, it kind of hurt my feelings because I was more so under the impression like, oh, this will be a good idea, so on and so forth. And he was like, I'm not saying that it's not a good idea, but what I'm saying is you are going to be doing the same thing that you did before. And I said, okay, I see where you're going with this. But at the same time, I really didn't see where he was going with it. But I told him, I said, you being my husband, one thing that you know about me is if it comes down to ever a place where I'm going against something that my husband feels or whatever the case may be, I'm just going to not do it because that's just who I am. Like, I'm just not going to make a decision if my husband is not on board with it. Okay, first of all, I'm not understanding how this part of my hair is curled and this side is like so I'm not going to go against how he feels, whatever. So needless to say, make a long story short, I told him how I felt, and he gave me a few scenarios, and I was getting it, but I really wasn't getting it. But then when he said this, and he said it so simple to me. He said, you are trying to do something that's on such a small level, when what God wants to do in your life in the new is going to be on such a big level. You're going to mess up the big level trying to focus on the small level. And then he said, another thing is, he said, you are so used to evangelizing. I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm an ordained pastor now. And he said, you are so used to evangelizing that you're forgetting that you are now a pastor. And you are trying to pastor, but that's not what God is saying your group is right now, if that makes sense. And I was like, wow, I didn't even think of it like that. I am so used to being able to evangelize, because through my makeup, I have evangelized all of these years. Like, people see my makeup and they be like, oh my God, your makeup is so nice. Da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden I start talking about how my life has changed and so on and so forth. And then there is my ministry of why my slogan is, it's more than makeup, it's ministry. Because for me, it is ministry. For me, it's how I talk to people. It's how I help people, how I assist people, how I get to this place of doing this, this, and this, and this. So for me, that's my ministry. That's what I love doing. But God is calling me to do something a little different. And to be honest, I'm not in the season or place in my life right now where I can pastor. Like, I really can't. Mainly because I just have a lot on my plate. And my husband explained to me, like, you really don't need to be overwhelmed. And I just bust out crying because I was like, I'm so grateful that my heart is not hardened, because if my heart was hardened, knowing that that's what I wanted to do, I would have just kicked down or pushed down what he said. And then I would have been overwhelmed with what I wanted to do, because that was what my heart wanted to do. But what the whole point of me telling you this is because I want to tell somebody there's some decisions that some of us are making because it's what we want to do, because it's what our heart wants to do. But there's sometimes, and in a lot of cases like now, God is saying, I see your heart. I know your heart. But there's something else that I want to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to mess that up because you're trying to chase that heart thing when I'm trying to give you a long-term longevity thing. Sometimes we chase our heart thing and we get overwhelmed. We get it just become too much for us. And then next thing we know, we're trying to figure out how to maneuver this thing again. Let me say, just in the little time of creating that thing of what I enjoy doing, I found myself checking it like that. Like, did somebody say something? Do I need to respond to something? Do I need to answer a question? Do I need to? And instantly, I kind of found myself like, oh, that's too much. But I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, but it might not be a big deal. So what I did is I instantly felt like, almost like, not necessarily it's a bad decision, but it felt like an overwhelming decision. But because it was a heart thing, I didn't want to pull back. So it took for my husband to come into the picture and say, hey, listen, I get what you're trying to do, but this is not what God is saying right now. And yet again, I was crying because I'm so grateful that my heart is not hardened to receive I get what you're trying to do, but this is not what God desires right now. Can I tell you, it may be a decision that even you and your household, you and your mental, you and your situation may be about to make. And God is trying to tell you, no, this is not what I have for you right now. And we're so busy trying to, we think that these are, let's consider these to be obstacles. I wish y'all could see, I wish I could hold this. Let me sit it right here. So these are obstacles in our life, right? And we like, oh yeah, like a maze. We like, oh yeah, I can start here. I can go down and just go up and then go down. And then boom, I can go about my business. And we say, oh, that's just obstacles of the devil. But sometimes obstacles are not of the devil. Sometimes the obstacles and the resistance is God's way of saying, that's not what I want. But we consider it sometimes to be of the devil, and we consider it to be opposition. We consider it to be something that, oh, it is causing me to want to say, oh no, that ain't God. That right there, that opposition, that's not God. Now, what I am saying, because I don't want nobody to be offended, what I am saying is some things are opposition of the devil. But in certain situations where there's a heart issue, meaning there's something that you really desire in your heart, we are so quick to push. We are so quick to push past God's opposition because it's a heart thing. But God, this is what I want. But God, this is what I feel. But God, this is even what I heard you say. Let me say to you, I was talking to one of my friends the other day. And I told her, I said, sometimes God says something, but he's saying it to the season that we're in. But when we remove ourselves from that season or that circumstance or that situation, God says, okay, now where that once was an obstacle, now I don't got to worry about that. So now I can change some of the route of where I was taking you. Some people say God is not a God that changes his mind. God is not a God that changes what he say. But if that was the case, then some of the rules and regulations that's in the Bible right now, God would be holding us accountable for them. And we would be getting in trouble for so many things and decisions that we made because it's a part of the word. And people, well, once God said this, that's just what he said. And it is what it is. That's not always the case. And in some situations, God is saying, I'm a changing God, and I got the right to change my mind. I got the right to say it goes like this. I have the right to say I no longer want it like that. So now I'm going to change it and I'm going to maneuver it. Who are we to say, God, you can't change that because you already said that? Now, somebody else is saying, but God gave me his word about a particular situation. Yes, God can give you, okay, prime example. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there because somebody probably like, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just tell my truth. Me and my husband. Okay. How can I'm trying to, Okay. I'm going to just say it. Me and my husband had a desire to have a baby. And I remember God saying and showing us a kid that was ours between me and my husband. But then it was times that I was like, yeah, I want a baby. But then it was times that I was like, no, because I don't want to start over. This is Deani's last year of middle school. So I was kind of like up and down, like, yeah. But then I'm like, no. And so most recently, I have came to full terms of, I don't want a baby no more. Y'all, I don't want a baby anymore. Mainly because I feel like the kids are about to be out of the house soon. Yeah, somebody like, but Key, you still got almost like 6 years. It don't matter. It don't matter. They're going to be gone soon. And I'm about to be me and my husband are about to be in a position where we can really enjoy the travel life like we used to, so on and so forth. And I would not be able to wholeheartedly get into that and be a new mom all over again. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. And so does that make what God showed me or what God said a lie? No. Does that make what God showed me or what I said or told people God showed me as a lie? No. But what it does now is it gives God the place and position to say, I could have done it. I wanted to do it. But now there's something different that I'm going to do because I want to do it. And it's going to take place where I didn't have to maneuver around something that I knew you wanted. Does that make sense? Sometimes God maneuver around what we want and what we desire because he know that some of us might throw a tantrum if we don't get what we want. Am I saying God is a bad parent for doing that? No. But sometimes God say, like a parent whose child is throwing a tantrum in the middle of the store, I'm not going to tell them, no, you're not about to get that. I'm going to go ahead and buy it so I can get through this day. So some of you guys, God is going to do that very thing that you have a heart desire for. Not because it's something that he really want to do for you, but he want to show you, I can give you what you desire, but it ain't going to be what you think. So now he's going to have to go through and clean it up because he gave you something that really wasn't for you. And people are like, but that's not the kind of God that we serve, that he'll give us something that he say ain't good for us. Why wouldn't he? Why? Let's pause right here and take some time to look over your life. How many times did you make a mistake and God fixed it? I can wait. You can comment below and just show an emoji of a hand so that I know that I can count how many mistakes I've made over my life. I can count them and tell you how many times God cleaned it up. Did God stop me from making some of those mistakes? No. Did he try to? Yeah. Those were these oppositions. It was oppositions that I was like, oh, that's the devil. But it wasn't the devil's oppositions. They were godly oppositions. But God said, I'm going to let you bogard your way into your heart desire because that's what you want. And then I'm going to just come back in because my grace is sufficient. I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to clean it up. But I'm here to tell somebody today, don't let your heart be hardened to the fact that you can't receive somebody telling you that's not God. Or don't let your heart be hardened that you're not ready to receive. Those oppositions are not from the devil, but those oppositions are trying to keep you from having to go through more heartache. That's what God is saying. So that was something else I wanted to share with you guys in reference to a lesson for the week for me. That was a lesson for the week for me. Then I'm also going to tag at the bottom 2 sermons that I listened to that really help confirm everything that me and my husband talked about the correction, about some of these things. One of the messages is by Stephen Furtick. I think how you pronounce his name is Stephen Furtick. And the title of that message is called, hold on, you guys, I'm about to tell you. But it will be linked below as well. But the title of that message was called, Be Careful What You Copy. But then it was another sermon that I listened to, and it was by Sarah Jakes, and it was called I think it was called the student, and the teacher, or the lesson and the teacher. It's called something, but I'm going to put both of them below. And actually it wasn't a sermon. Well, yeah, it was a sermon, but it was actually a podcast version. Both of them was. I listened to both of them on podcast version, but it was literally like the sermon, but in podcast version. But I will post both of them below for you guys to check them out when you get a chance, and let them minister to you, and go from there. But I just want to encourage y'all to let God do what he wants to do. Don't do what you want to do, because what you want to do is going to have to end up being a mess that God got to clean up. But what God wants to do is going to end up being a mess that's going to turn to a message. So it's not necessarily going to be a mess, but it's going to be a whole, I had to go through all of that for God to do that. It's going to be one of those. With that being said, I love y'all. Don't talk about me having on a Sunday shirt on a Friday. Don't talk about my hair. Don't talk about my face, because I ain't beat today. But I will catch you guys next week. And I have something coming up, you guys. I'm going to do a series coming up where I'm going to be teaching a few different things on tools of a woman. And I'm super excited. Yay! So look for that. And this is August. It will start at the end of August, beginning September, but I'm getting it together. So you will see makeup lives for the next few to complete until I start the tools of a woman. Okay? But I love you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.